Hey everybody, it is the Welcome Mat here, bringing you guys today a quick review of Forbidden Desert: Thirst for Survival, which is published by Gamewright and was designed by, I want to say this was designed by Matt Leacock. I didn't realize his name is not on the front there. Yeah, Matt Leacock designed this, who is famously known for designing Forbidden Island and probably the greatest hit, Pandemic. Forbidden Desert takes a lot of similar themes from Pandemic, and I'm not going to set up the board here thoroughly, but I'm just going to show you guys kind of an overview of what you can expect from this game. So I'm going to expect that you're familiar with Pandemic or Forbidden Island, one of those cooperative games, going into this. So What's similar? Well, like those other games, you have 3 different ways you can lose the game, and there's different settings. So we have a tracker here showing us novice, normal, elite, and legendary levels based on the number of players: 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is nice. So the game scales really well in terms of difficulty, so that's going to be your setting. And if this tracker goes all the way to the top, it means that you guys lost because you were swept away by a sandstorm. And the theme of this game is, I think, that you were trying to get your ship back together. You crash landed in a desert, and this is your ship, except for the propeller piece, which I kept in here with the pawns. And you build this ship. You're finding these 4 pieces that go to it and putting them all together, and then you're heading back to safety once you get the ship together and you make it to the launching pad. So the board is modular for this one. It's going to be randomly set up different every time, and you have I can show you kind of here the grid in the book. So you have rows of 5, and then well, the storm moves around, but basically this is what it's going to look like, and then pieces are going to move around. But this would be the starting setup. You're going to have the sand tiles like this. And the sand tiles come like this, or if you get 2 on one spot, if you flip on over and put it as an X. And that's really bad. So in this game, it's very similar to Pandemic in that the sand is almost like cubes that spread across the board. And if the cubes get too high in one place, then things get really bad and you have like outbreaks-ish kind of things. Very similar in this game, except it's sand. What's not similar, though, is in Pandemic you have a certain set number of cities and you draw the cards, and then after an epidemic happens, they get put back on the top of the city epidemic, or the infected city card pile. In this game, you don't have that. Instead, you have a bunch of these cards that you're drawing from this deck that move the storm, and you draw a certain number of cards every turn, and it tells you to move the storm this way. So the storm started here, but it may move here, and then it may move here, and then it may get stuck, but then it may move here, then it may move here, and then here, all in the same turn. Some of them go 1 space, 2 spaces, and 3 spaces. Now, similar to Pandemic, there is, instead of an epidemic, you have a sun beats down card. And one of the other ways you can lose this game is if your players run out of water. Every character in this game has a different amount of water in their canteen. So you can see the archaeologist here only starts off with 3. And every character has 1 special ability, kind of like in Pandemic, except in Pandemic they can sometimes have more. So you'll see like the navigator here has a little bit more water. He can have up to 4. I'll just show you these different cards if you want to pause and look at the different roles in this game. I will say that the roles feel pretty thematic. I definitely feel different playing this game with the different roles, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. You also have cards similar to Pandemic that have different special abilities. So you have like a Terrascope, peek under an excavated tile, and we don't know what these tiles are. So a lot of this game is very much exploring. The tile may look like this, and you're trying to figure out where the pieces are. And there's different hints that the game will give you based on how the modular board is set up. And so you'll flip this over. This is an unexcavated city that we have now partly excavated. And here's like a tower that we found. And as you find those tiles, there may be certain bonuses under them. Some of them have water. Some of them may have water. Like this one here, there's a few tiles that have this on the back side. And you flip it over, and lucky for you, that one was a well. But not all of them are, because this one was a mirage. It's actually dry land. There's no water there. So really cool. I like how that plays on the desert theme. And you're all explorers looking around. And when the sun comes out, on the Sun Beats Down card, there are certain locations that are like tunnels, and if you hide in the tunnel, it keeps you safe from losing water, because if you lose water, you die, and that is the other way that you can lose this game. Well, also if you run out of these tiles, which would be similar to like in Pandemic, if you run out of the deck of cards, then you lose. If you run out of sand tiles in this game, you lose. So, and here's some of the different cards. I'll just show you here. Jet Pack. See if I can get that clear away so you can read it a little bit. Dune Blaster, Time Throttle, Solar Shield, and Secret Water Reserve. And these cards, similar to the ones in Pandemic, the special events, are very helpful, and you want to be very strategic about how and when you use them. So, fun little game. If you want to know more thoughts on it, I'd encourage you to look at a run-through. Here's a picture of the launch pad. You can see some of the tunnels here. These are the location clues. You'll find the two ones in the mix of all the different tiles everywhere, and they'll point to the tile, which it's not a set tile, but it's whatever tile meets between these two locations, wherever you'll find one of these items. So that's how it works for the modular ability of it. But I want to go ahead and tell you guys why I'm actually trading this game away. First of all, this game is 2 to 5 players, and I would say it works great at all the player counts. It's a short game. It's a little bit shorter than Pandemic. You probably could play this in 45 minutes or less. I love how the roles work. The roles. I'm just going to talk about the pros right now. Why not? Let's do that. The roles are great. I feel thematic. They feel different for each of the people that you play. I love the idea of exploring. It's fun because you don't know where you're going, and you just kind of, if you put yourself in the theme, you're just like, oh, we're trying to find our ship and we're lost. Ooh, look at all this cool stuff. But then you're like, but I need to find water, and you need to keep moving, and we need to find the ship and get back to the launching pad and get out of here. So really cool. The reason, well, other pros, the card quality is great. The components are great. The ship is an unneeded touch. They didn't need this, but it's a great little touch to the game. It gives you that toy factor, and I think for families especially, but for adults too, it's going to be fun to find the pieces, and then these come out, so you can see that piece comes out, and this is a nice heavy piece right here. A few of these other guys are plastic, but I like how they actually made this engine-looking piece kind of heavy. But that toy factor of putting these together is really cool and really fun to see your ship come together, and then you put your pawn. You can put your little pawn guys on the compass or somewhere, and then blast them off to safety. So, fun, cool. Scales well. Scales great. Obviously with the more players, there's going to be a little bit more downtime between each player. That's to be expected in most games. It doesn't work for me though, because it felt too lucky. It is a different take on the Pandemic cooperative style of system, and I applaud Matt Leacock for it. He was approached, to do this, from my understanding, because of the success of Forbidden Island. And it is a little bit deeper than Forbidden Island, but not too much. And there's just too much luck in it for me, because the way that the storm cards come out determines everything. It doesn't matter how well you strategize or how well you spread out your people or how well they're watered. You can get really bad cards with these, or they can be really gracious and forgiving and easy. to deal with. And the reason I think I like Pandemic much better than this game is because even though it can be that tough, relentless machine, you know once you have that first epidemic what city cards are going to be at the top, and so you always have a calculated risk, and you feel like because you know a little bit more about the future and what's going to happen to you. In this game, it's completely random. You have no idea which way the storm is going to blow or where it's going to go, and I thought there was every game there's going to be luck, and hopefully some element of strategy. There's just too much luck for me to enjoy this game. But I would say I think families may enjoy this game, especially younger children, or if you're wanting to go just that one step above Forbidden Island, this may be a good choice. The tin is not for everybody either, but for some people it's great. It's definitely durable. This probably can go through more than your cardboard stuff. The box says the tin can says ages 10 and up, and I'd say that's probably accurate, but I'd say probably you could play with kids younger than that with this game, and help them understand the decisions they're making. Maybe even like 7 or 8. I would say go for it. It's not that complicated. So, great component quality, fun game, but just not for me. Too much luck. That's why it's being traded away. That's a quick overview, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave below. I do apologize for the quickness of this video. I just wanted to get something out to you guys because I've been overwhelmed with school, and I haven't had the time to do videos, but I wanted to put something on the channel. So, hope you guys enjoy. This has been the Welcome Mat. Take care and have a great one. Bye-bye. Forbidden Desert. He is.